Okay, we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. I see my lovely co-hosts have joined. I'm not going to be doing this by myself, which there's a lesson in that. Whether you are joining to drink this amazing stuff and experience all the benefits, or you are joining us to share this with other people, you're never doing it on your own. And it's one of the things I love the best about this community. So, like I said, my name is Kate Higdon. I get the honor of being your host tonight on this guest call to learn a little bit more about the power of Keto Nat, all the benefits that happen when you're drinking this amazing stuff, which I have some lovely visual aids right here. But we're going to specifically focus tonight on a benefit that people notice the most in me, I would say, and that is fat loss. We're going to be talking a lot about why does Keto Nat, why does being in this therapeutic state of ketosis help so many people experience significant fat loss. So we're going to be hearing from some awesome friends of mine who have had that as a benefit. But y'all, even though I have lost 70 pounds of body fat, I will tell you it's not actually my favorite benefit. But I know that it's a benefit that draws a lot of people to this conversation. And it is still really important to me because I know that from a metabolic standpoint, from a health standpoint, I am just way healthier because of that. So like I said, my name is Kate. I am a mom of a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old. I have no idea how this happened because I myself am only 24. So I'm not really sure how this happened. I'm a wife of a husband who is on the phone right now with Vivint because right before this call started, our smoke alarm started going off. So hopefully y'all don't hear beeping in the background. He's my hero. He's handling everything for us in the background. I have two dogs, total mom dog mom. I love to be at home snuggling my dogs. I don't have to leave them during the day. It's my favorite thing. And I started this journey with ketones 6.5, almost 7 years ago. It'll be 7 years in October. But I want to share with you all how it came to be for me, because I think as you hear these stories, you're going to see yourself in someone's story tonight, where you're going to think of other people who it relates to. So I hope like you're coming to this call with an open heart and an open mind to receive the stories we're going to share with you, along with sharing with you how to learn more about the science of ketones. But my story actually started in May of 2016, long before I ever knew that these lovely things existed. I started because my son at the time was 12 years old, and I took him for his 12-year-old doctor's checkup, not thinking a thing of it. And in that doctor's appointment, the pediatrician showed me the chart and said, Kate, Jackson is right here. He is borderline for childhood obesity. I was looking at my baby with his sweet little chubby cheeks, and he's so snuggly and so soft, and I never saw that in him. But she's like, this is going to become a problem very quickly. So we left that doctor's office and we get in. I had a little minivan at the time, little minivan mom, and I put it in reverse. And I remember looking over at him sitting in the passenger side, and he had tears coming down those cheeks. And I immediately put my foot on the brake and I was like, baby, what is wrong? And he looked at me, and he just has the most beautiful, big blue eyes. He gets those from his daddy. And they were just glistening because they were full of tears. And he said, Mama, I don't want to be obese. And it still gives me chills when I think about it, because when you're a parent and you hear something like that from your child, your first reaction is, I've got to fix this. How can I fix this? But y'all, I was pulling that van out of the parking lot, and when I looked in the rearview mirror, my face was in that mirror. And at that time, my face took up the whole mirror. And I knew at that exact moment, things had to change. Everything had to change because I couldn't help my baby if I didn't learn how to help myself first. Anybody relate to this? Okay. And look, we could do a whole nother call about childhood obesity because you want to get me on like a soapbox, get me talking about that. Because it's an epidemic. It is an epidemic in our nation. So I knew we had to change. All I knew was low carb because 20 some years ago, I did Atkins. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever did Atkins, if you ever heard about Atkins, if that was your thing. I see Heidi saying, yep, that was me. And it worked great for me. And I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go home. We're going to go completely low carb. I started packing his lunches with turkey and cheese wrapped in low carb tortillas. His fruit was strawberries and blueberries. He had string cheese. He had nuts. We went all in. Very, very quickly. I'm going to show y'all a picture. Y'all want to see a picture? Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully, Christina, this works so I can share my screen. I am not a technology person, so I'm going to apologize to y'all right now. Oh, look, I had them up right there, and then they went away. I told y'all, look, technology is not my jam. Okay, here we go. So very, very quickly, this was the 3 of us. This was me. Can y'all see that? Okay, good. I see someone's head nodding. This was me, my son, and my husband. Very quickly, he started to lose the weight. My husband started to lose the weight, but I did not. I did not lose weight. We started in May. Come September, I had lost like 5 pounds. It wasn't going anywhere. And I was super frustrated. I had pretty much been told by my endocrinologist that fat loss wouldn't happen for me. And so I wasn't really expecting fat loss. Along comes my little skinny friend, Stephanie Blanford, posting on Facebook that she had found something that made her feel like the mom her kids deserved. And I was like, that sounds fabulous. I would like to be that because I was exhausted. I wasn't sleeping. I was moody. And so I started with a little sample pack from her, unbeknownst to me that little packet would be the catalyst to help me lose 70 pounds. So you're looking at this before and better. We always call it before and better. We don't call it after because we're always getting better. There is no after here, okay? After would be me in my coffin, all right? This is a before and better. But y'all look at my kiddo, okay? Well, I had to throw this picture in here because I am a proud mama. I'm going to show y'all what he looks like now because now his health is his top priority and he works on himself all the time. This is him now. Yeah, ladies, calm down. Okay, calm down. He is only 19. Y'all be nice, be good. But this is who he is now. And I'm going to tell you as a mom, as a parent, if we had not started this journey that many years ago, this is not what he would look like right now. So when you decide to change your health for you, you are actually changing it for your whole family. Even when you start and they say, I don't want to have anything to do with that. My husband told me, babe, that's awesome. You try that little diet crap, but I'm not doing that. It's not for me. Oh, he does it now. He's lost 90 pounds. Okay. So I want you to know that when you decide to change your life, it has a ripple effect that goes beyond you. Okay. And now this is me. This is my before to the left, which is a horrible picture because who has before pictures of themselves? I did not have many. And then this is me now. I've lost 70 pounds when I thought it was not possible. But I have gained that energy, the better sleep, the better moods, all of those things because I started incorporating Keto Nat. I'm going to stop my little picture share. All right. Can y'all see me again? Hello, people. Okay, awesome. So why does this help? First of all, I'm going to share with you a little bit about the science, okay? This is ketones. It's the same bioidentical ketones your body can make. It is a fuel source. When you drink it, within 60 minutes, you are in a therapeutic state of ketosis, meaning your brain, your heart, your tissues are all fueled with the fuel they prefer. So everything starts functioning better. Everything, because you're giving your body the fuel it needs. If you are a science geek on here and you love all things science, like that was my husband, he drank it for the first time and spent the entire day researching beta hydroxybutyrate and ketones because he's a nerd and he loves that stuff. I did not. My friend Stephanie told me to drink it, so I drank it. Not what you want in a teenager, but that's what I did. Okay. And it worked. If you love the science and that is important to you, and you want to really dig in to what is so amazing, why the Department of Defense is into this, why NASA is into this, go to Prove It TV. It's an app, Prove It TV or provetv.com. And you can spend hours and hours and hours and just let your brain be tickled with the knowledge that is all things ketones, okay? The reason why it helps with fat loss is not because I drink this lovely little stuff and the fat melts off my body. That would be fantabulous, but that's not what happens. What happens is my body is now fueled with a superior fuel source, so I'm not hungry. My appetite was finally, for the first time in my whole life since the age of 7, I started a poor relationship with food at the age of 7. So from 7 to 40, I was hungry all the time. I craved all the bad things. For the first time in my life, I was not craving those things and I was not hungry all the time. Plus, I had energy to move my body. I no longer came home from work and sat my butt on the couch and watched TV all night. I was up doing things, cleaning this. If I was missing an ingredient from the grocery store, I didn't say, screw it, we're ordering takeout. I said, well, I'll just get in the car and run down the street and walk around grocery store and get what I need and come home and finish that. Okay, that's weird. Who does that? Not me before ketones. Okay, not me before ketones. Getting your body in a therapeutic state of ketosis, your body loves it, and your body's like, can we make more of these? What if you ate low carb because you stopped craving all that sugary stuff? Look, I grew up in Iowa where I had mashed potatoes, cream corn, and cobbler every night. Iowa farm girl right here. Anybody from Iowa, give me some corn or something in the comments. All right. When my body was like, nah, I don't really want that stuff anymore, and I started going more low carb, my life just totally changed. Okay. Now keep in mind, I was already eating low carb and it wasn't doing diddly squat until I added the ketones. So that is my story, part of my story. Look, then hormones set in, and I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a little bit when we start talking about different ways to get started. And I gained like 8 pounds back, and I'm going to tell you later on how I got rid of those in June. It was amazing. It was like magic. So we're going to share about that, but I want you to hear some other stories because I am not an isolated incident. My family is not an isolated incident. So I'm going to first have my friend Laura unmute. Laura, are you there?
I am. Hello.
Hello, Miss Laura. Can you share with everybody, like, what were you struggling with when it comes to fat loss, and what's been your experience since incorporating ketones?
So before I was 50, I'm almost 52 now. So I was struggling with losing weight. I had gained about 40 pounds. I was going through a major life change and recently divorced. I put on some weight, and everything that I tried, it just wasn't working. I did the meal diets where you order the month's worth of frozen food. I did 2 different ones of that, and I would lose a little bit of weight, and then I would gain back everything that I lost plus 10 pounds more. So I went through like a series of trying different things. I did the weekly meetings. I felt like it just wasn't going to happen for me. I felt like I was at the point where, okay, I'm going to be 50 in a couple months. I just have to learn that this is the new me. And I just have to, come to terms with that. And I really tried doing that. And then when I started with ketones, I really didn't think it would work for that. I had experienced some other benefits with ketones, better sleep, more energy. And then I started losing weight. And then I started losing inches. I actually lost inches before weight. And so I've lost over 3 inches on my waist. I've lost 40 pounds. And I feel like I'm able to make all those healthy decisions because I'm not craving all the bad things that I used to. I used to live on sugar and caffeine throughout the day, and I'm not craving those things anymore. So I'm able to make the healthy choices that I always knew I should be making. And so I'm finally able to live the life that I want to live. And
I love that. Now, are you perfect? Like, do you always eat exactly what you're supposed to?
no, I would say I do low carb, but I kind of follow the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, I eat pretty healthy. But listen, I love sweets. I love, if there's a birthday party, I'm going to have a slice of cake. But I can do so now when I want to and in moderation. Like I'm a teacher, they've got the faculty room at school, and there's always something in there, but I can pick and choose now. Like, do I really want a day old donut that's been sitting out and, no, I really don't. If I'm going to have a donut, which I love donuts, it's going to be a special treat. I'm going to go to the bakery. I'm going to get that. So no, I'm not perfect, nor am I striving to be perfect.
You're just
But
living your life.
yeah, I'm just listening to my body and feeling good within my skin for the first time in 52 years. So
I'm so happy for you. Now you stay because I got more questions for you
okay.
in a minute, but thank you.
Oh,
Next,
you're
I want
welcome.
you all to hear from one of my most favorite humans on the planet. And that's one thing I have to say about this community is the people who have been brought into my life because of this community make me a better person. And knowing Miguel, I am a better person because I got to meet him and Pruvit brought him into my life. So Miguel, like everyone loves you. You have such a joy, such a heart for serving. Unmute and tell everybody like where were you struggling? Where were you at in your health journey? And what's it been like since you incorporated ketones?
Sure. Appreciate those kind words. And I've actually known you since 2017. And so as far as what got me started this go around was my health really just spiraled out of control. I've got a really busy, demanding job. And, this is probably a common story for all. It seems like as the years go by, the world just gets busier and busier. You guys feel that, right? And so also I'm a dad of 10. So yeah, 10 kids, that was not a miscommunication there. So trying to find time for them and time for my wife and all those things, I just started to neglect really taking care of me. And late last year, it got to where it was really just out of control. I was having heart pains. I was having numbing in my arms. And I was literally sitting there going, I'm about to have a heart attack, and had no idea where to go, where to start. Cause I was like, I don't have any time left. Like, I really felt like I've got nothing left to give. So I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but sometimes it's like, you're just so busy. It's like, there's nothing left. Like, what do I do? And so in that moment of just kind of being really frustrated, because we've stayed in touch over the years, you reached out to me, and I knew this would work as far as for fat loss. That's really why I started. And I was like, I just got to tackle something easy. And I know if I drink ketones, because I've seen Kate do it, I'm at least going to get fat loss. Like, I mean, I need an easy win. And I even told myself, I am not going to exercise. And honestly, that was just because mentally I was so broken too. I didn't want to take another loss and say, well, let me start. And then I didn't achieve that. And that's hard. Like in my family, like my wife, what Kate will tell you, she's like practically a fitness model. This chick gets up at 4:30 every morning and works out 6 days a week. I mean, she was passing kidney stones a couple of weeks ago. She's like, oh, I'm nauseous. I'm like, what are you doing now? I got to work out. Like that's her deal. So I'm sitting there like a lot of ladies going, why are you working out? You look great. I'm the one that needs to work out, right? But I didn't want to do that. And so I just started drinking the drink. And I mean, the fat loss came off super fast. I did low carb. I went low carb. And really, it was just a fight for my life. I just needed to change. And I think the turning point I've said before was I could picture my youngest kid, which is my 9-year-old daughter, talking to her future child. And it still chokes me up. And she was telling that child, I wish my dad was around because you would have loved the way he loved you. And that just broke my heart. And I was like, I got to do something. So when I got involved and just started plugging in and drinking the ketones, the fat loss started coming off. The community, the support. Like I needed someone to believe in me because I didn't believe in me. And I think that was the other caveat is this community was so amazing in really making me believe I've got a chance at this. And so I've stopped measuring weight. I think I'm close to the 50 pounds now. I almost weighed myself this morning. I forgot just so I could have it for this call. I know I'm over 30 some odd inches lost. And more than that, just feeling amazing. I've come alive. I remember having to stop playing basketball because my knees hurt and just like really feeling like, man, I wish I could be out there with my boys. And now the younger ones are not just hearing stories from the older ones of how dad used to be on the court. They're like, man, you don't play fair, dad. And I'm like, well, y'all better man up. So it's been a great transformation.
Find my unmute button. That is amazing. And I love it when people have pictures of themselves in the same shirt. Did y'all notice that in that last picture, it was the same shirt? What I love about that Miguel's story is when you get to know Miguel, and honestly, so many people in our community, you just realize like these people need to be on this earth as long as possible because they just enrich so many people's lives. And the fact that we have something that's improving his health and giving him back to his family is so, so powerful. I also wanted to mention that when it comes to diet, ketones are gonna work no matter what diet you choose. Okay, I want to throw that out there. I love this term. It's called diet agnostic. It does not matter what diet you choose, the ketones are going to work for you. For many of us, we just find that our bodies respond really well to cutting out sugars. I think most people's bodies respond really well when you cut out sugar. But the reason why it's so simple, look, I've done low carb. I've tried low carb for years and years and years. I'd stick to it about 3 weeks, then I'd fall off the wagon, fall down the hill with the wagon, and then set the wagon on fire. And all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, I'll start on Monday. Monday turns into 2 years. Okay. I used to tell people I'm 12 years postpartum. When I was 12 years postpartum, that was my excuse, right? So I could never stick to low carb. Almost any diet will work if you can stick to it, if you can be compliant to it. Ketones allow you to be compliant to whatever lifestyle works for you. If you want to be vegan, if you want to be paleo, if you want to be carnivore, if you want to be keto, whatever it is, it's way easier to do when you're in ketosis because you now control your appetite. Your appetite no longer controls you. Can I hear a little amen that would be nice? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So there are a few ways to get started with KetoNet. I always say like, just get in where you fit in. There are things like new customer bundles. We have a good, a better, a best bundle that include things like this little lovely challenge kit. And then they have accelerator kits that come in it. If you want to go a little faster on your journey, you can start with one of those bundles. You could also reach out to the person that invited you and say, hey, I'd really like to just taste it first. Maybe you want to get a trial pack and you want to have a little tasting. I did that. No shame in that game. I was like, ew, gross. What if it's nasty? Like, I wanted to see what it tasted like first. Everything else out there tasted like chalk or chemicals. I was not down with that. This tastes like Propel, like Kool-Aid. It's amazing. And there's so many different flavors. There's like 10 different mainstay flavors. All right. So that's a great way to get started. Get started, get in where you fit in. Do not become overwhelmed with that website. Stay focused. Be coachable, ask your promoter, what is the best way for me to get started? Here's my goal and here's how fast I want to get there. And then listen and take the coaching, right? Take that coaching. Okay, so then I'm going to share with you a little bit about what happens after you get started. So once you get started and you fall in love with ketones like we did, you literally, like, I was a customer for 3 months. I was like, what is happening? What is happening to me? Now, keep in mind, I lost nothing my first 2 weeks, not 1 pound, not even an inch, not even a half an inch, my first 2 weeks. But within 7 months, within 6 months, I was down 70 pounds. I'm telling you that to set those expectations, y'all. Like, give your body a chance to heal, but you fall in love with how you feel and you realize this is very different. And you start talking to people and you start saying, oh my gosh, my mom should be drinking this. Oh my gosh, my sister should be drinking this. And then you realize very quickly, oh, there is more to this. There is more available to you than your health. You can improve your health here. You can also improve your life by improving your wealth here. So for those of you, because I know that some of you are on here and yeah, you need to improve your health. You do. You really do. But I also know that there are some of you on here that you need an extra stream of income. And this can be an answer for that as well. That's what it was for me. Okay. So I want to just kind of share that with you all because it just naturally progresses. Like if you've ever been to a movie, like, oh my gosh, with the Barbie movie, people. Like the Barbie movie everyone has lost their minds. I was one of them. I fell in. I drank the pink Kool-Aid. I dressed in the pink. And we were like all out there, Barbie. Mattel sent me nothing. I'm still waiting for the check from Mattel to say, thank you for referring people to the Barbie movie, Kate. Here is a check. No, Mattel's not doing that for me, okay? Oppenheimer, I don't even know who made that, but that's a really great movie. I prefer Oppenheimer over Barbie, just saying. Nobody sends me a check. Prove it when you are actually impacting other people's lives. Impact. I want you guys to write that word down. Impact. So when I reached out to Miguel, because I knew he was struggling, and I had a real conversation with Miguel, and I impacted his life, which impacted his 10 children's lives, I not only got the reward of feeling like a freaking awesome human who's serving, Prove It sends me money and rewards me financially and says, hey, thanks for referring Miguel. I don't know anything better than that. I don't know anything better than that. So I would love for you all to hear, because we're all on different journeys, different paths. Laura, I told you I was coming back to you. Why did you choose to join Prove It? And what has Prove It done for you as far as community and business?
Okay, so last fall, I, like many Americans after COVID, I'm like, I need to increase my income. I'm a teacher. That's very hard to do. I mean, you work on a salary scale, and I am at the top of that scale with education. So The only way I could increase my salary is by getting another job. And I really contemplated about what I was going to do. Like, would I work retail at my favorite stores in the evening and on the weekends? And there's only so many hours in the day. And I'm kind of a homebody. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be out at, teaching at my school all day, and then at a store in the evenings or the weekends. And I thought, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't know if that's the way that I want to create an extra stream of income. And my coach, Karen, at the same time that I was going through this whole process of looking for an additional stream of income, she reached out to me and she said, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? And I was like, no, I hadn't, but I was really intrigued because I was already in love with the product. I knew it worked. I had phenomenal results with it. And so she invited me to a weekly team meeting, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. I signed up the next day, and I'm constantly telling people, like, I finally found my people. Like, I love hanging with my Prove It community. I've never had a job before where I look forward to the weekly meetings. I look forward to the conferences. I have made so many friends throughout the community, and I love it. And on top of that, I did create a stream of income each month that, has really been helpful with the way the economy is now. It's really taken the edge off things. So,
Well, I
uh,
love that. Took the edge off. How many
yeah.
people need the edge taken off,
Yeah.
right? Like, so many people are hurting. They're like, they just feel like they're in this vice, and they just
Yes.
want to do a couple little untwists of the vice, right? That's where so many people are. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Miguel, okay, my friend, because you're probably going to make me cry, but like, what has Prove It meant for you with joining this team?
Man, that's so like when I first joined this go around, I mean, I told you, look, I'm not doing this for business. I need positivity around my life, right? But I knew from knowing you that that was going to be a given. And I think the thing that was probably the most amazing thing to me was that as I just started getting healthier and my brain came alive again, I recognized that I had stopped dreaming. And so like in today's standard, I probably actually make a good income. But what is a good income, right? Is a good income a dollar figure, or is it chasing dreams? And I've always had these huge dreams. I mean, not just for my family, like, yeah, it'd be great to go to Europe. It'd be great to do these things, but like, I want to change the world, and I can look back at journals from years ago and I'm writing about how like I say, it gets me emotional because I want to leave this world, and this world is better because of the time I spent here. And it does take money to do that. And so I saw in this a vehicle that said, I can not only dream, but I can achieve my dreams. And so it's something as small as like, to get it really tangible, I went in with no expectations. I got a daughter that has health issues that they're like borderline, like, ooh, can I afford ketones? That pays for ketones because it doesn't cost me anything, because what this community and what this business has done for me. You tell me what that's worth, to be able to tell your daughter, girl, I got your back, right? You can't put a dollar sign on that. And so this business opportunity has allowed me to dream, to just, it's I can't even put it into words. Like, I'm so fired up about the future. Like, we're about to go on this crazy adventures. And that's what I'm telling the family. I'm like, guys, buckle down. It's going to be crazy and it's going to be memorable. And we're going to look back going, holy cow, this was a life worth living. So
I love that. And the world is better because of you. It is. So I do believe that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. Y'all look at the people I get to spend my time with. And we live like Miguel, where are you now? Are you still in Louisiana?
yes, ma'am, still down south.
And Laura's in Maryland. And I'm in Kentucky. but I spend time with them all the time. I love it. I see Jessica on here. She's in Arizona. And I mean, we're like, I just love this community. And I'm not going to keep you all much longer because we really try and keep these calls tight and just honor your time. I just lastly am going to share with you all a little bit about what Prove It has done for me and my family. So I was drinking this amazing stuff for 3 months. My body started to transform. I finally felt alive again. It in like, I guess it had been maybe a decade since I had felt like that. And I felt so amazing. And then I realized I was no longer going to be able to drink it because I couldn't afford it. And back then there wasn't a whole lot of discounts. There weren't sales. There was just not a lot of options for me. But my mom was in visiting from Iowa, talking about Iowa a lot tonight. And she saw this transformation in me. And you know, like your moms see it, right? Like if you're a mom, you know, when you see a transformation in your kid, you know, if there's the teeny tiniest little transformation, and your moms see that in you too, right? So my mom was like, what are you doing? What is going on? And I'm like, oh, it's this stuff. But I'm going to have to stop. And she grabbed me by the chin like this. So I don't know if y'all's moms do that, but she's got these long bony fingers and she like grabbed me like, and she said, no, little sister, you're not going to stop drinking this because I see a change in you. And she said, I know what this business is. She said, you're going to start telling other people about it. And it's going to change your life and it's going to change their lives. Because on that day that my mom said that to me, what I didn't mention is on that exact same day, my mom was standing right next to me when the doorbell rang and I opened the door and it was a mailman delivering foreclosure papers on our house. That's where I was. So when I joined as a business, I didn't join thinking I'm going to get this amazing community and these beautiful people and around all these positive things and impact people like that. Like I knew the product was legit. I didn't know all that other stuff was happening. I needed to make money. I needed to save my house. I needed to make $2,000 to save my house or we were going to lose it all. I didn't have $5 on a credit card, not $5. The very next day, I became a promoter with Prove It. I joined this community and I literally just said to the people that I was working with, I said, tell me exactly what to do. I see where you are and that's where I want to go. Tell me what you did and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's all I did. I literally just took every bit of coaching. Within 30 days, had saved our home from foreclosure. Within 6 months, we were completely credit card debt free. And you're talking to the person that when I would go to the grocery store, I would sit in the car and pull up my phone, pull up my app, my bank app, and I would see how much money was in my checking account. If it was like $40, $50, then I would pull out all my credit cards, lay them out on the seat beside me, and I had a little piece of paper, and I would call all the phone numbers and check my balance to see if I had enough money on a credit card to go buy groceries. That's who I was before. That was my life before. There was a stack of bills this high in my kitchen. There was no point in opening those bills because I couldn't do anything about it. So the stack just kept getting bigger. We were in medical debt from me being sick for 8 years in foreclosure. So when I joined this, yeah, I had some financial goals. I hit all those goals and I kept running because I was like, oh my gosh. I started hearing stories about Heidi's story, which y'all have to hear sometime. Like I started hearing all these different people's stories and I'm like, this is real. Like this is legit. Like we are changing lives. We are moving. This is a movement. We are going forward. And I kept going and I kept going. And I was like, how much further can we go? How much further we can go? Now we live in a totally different home. We've traveled the world. I got to take my daughter to Paris, France when she was 16 years old. I paid for her college education. I drive a vehicle that I earned through Prove It. because I showed up, I did the things, and I surrendered to the system. So all the systems that I used are available to each and every one of you on this call, if you so choose to join us and do what we're doing. Every system that I've used is available to you. How cool is that? There's no gatekeeping of the secret sauce. We give you the secret sauce, and probably so much that you're like, back down on the sauce, lady, back down, because we give you so much for you to be successful, to go after your dreams. Like now my dreams are to create an international business. I want to show up in every country in Europe to business meetings full of hundreds of people and walk on a stage and say, you can do this. You can change your life and you can change other people's lives. That is the best feeling in the world. Look at Miguel. Listen to Miguel. Miguel started because he had to change his life, but he is all about now changing other people's lives. That's what we do here. If that aligns with you and who you are and the mission in your life, get with your promoter and say, tell me what I need to do. You can join us for $49, an annual membership for $49, or you can really invest, grab a trial builder pack, invest in a business. Look, I started a brick and mortar business 19 years ago. It cost me $30,000. So do not come to me and tell me that $300 or $500 or $1,000 is a lot to start your own business. Tax deductible home-based business. Like Laura says, she don't want to go work at Sears. She wanted to be home with her little puppy. Okay? If you're a mama on here, do you really want to go drive for Uber in the evenings? Or do you want to be at home with your kids? Maybe they're helping you make little TikToks, and that's how you do the business, right? I'm just saying it is here and it is available. Invest in it if you want to run. Whatever you do, grab your ketones, get your body into ketosis, and start feeling better. As you are better, it will impact everyone around you. I promise you, it happened to me and it happens to everyone that I am around. It blows my mind. I've never been a part of anything like this before. I've never seen a movement like this before. So I hope I'm kind of fired up. Hello, people. I'm a little fired up. I might need to go do a live right now. I'm in a good energy space. Y'all have got me all excited. Yeah, you are. I love it. Thank you so much for your time. We kept you 12 minutes over. I apologize, but I appreciate for all of you that are still on here. Know that you can be better, you can do more, and whatever it is, whether it's ketones, the business, or what I'm going to say, prove it, because that incorporates all of it. It's here as a vehicle to help you to get where you want to go in the next step in your life. So thank you all so much. You have an amazing night, and I hope to see y'all soon. Bye, everybody.